I'm Dumey. This is Journeys in Djruthourhi, and we are going to play some D&D. Regardless of any shakeups we've had recently, we are still going to have fun.
We are a group of chaos. We always know how to have fun. It's never a boring night here.
Ooh, we just met our 80 follower goal. Thank you.
Nice.
Woo, 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 woo.
Next goal, 100. Let's do it tonight.
Yay!
Thanks, guys.
Let's go.
Oh, dang, we actually got a fair few people watching at the moment.
Yeah, appreciate that. If you're joining us for the first time, Journeys in Djruthourhi is a friend group that has been playing D&D for at least 6 or 7 years. It's not always been these characters, but there are aspects of this campaign that has gone on throughout perpetuity. While I'm waiting for this thing to load up, Djruthourhi is a world of my own creation. Of course, Dungeons and Dragons being the multiverse that it is, every world does in fact exist. It is a world where dragons were once the ruling deities and have since left on some mysterious exodus that no one in the general public knows why.
And we've met 3 of them?
You've met 1, 2...
I'm counting Tamara because technically we met them. We got blessed.
Yes, technically you met Tamara, so you've met one of the dragon gods. You've met 2 full dragons, some of you. Others of you have met a half dragon.
Wait, who was the half dragon? Oh,
I have seen many dragons.
No.
God, who's the half dragon?
Only 2 of our party, 1 of our current party has met the half dragon.
Is it the one that I'm going to kill one day?
Yes.
The person who met the half dragon or the half dragon?
The half dragon.
Oh no.
We'll see. The night is young.
Well, 20 is being fantastic with me today. I don't know why.
Why did you say that? Because now it's not. You just spoke that into existence.
It's already not, so...
Wait, it was working perfectly fine for...
I was having
God dang it!
Well, while I work on this, we are going to go ahead and play the theme song. So if you are new to our sessions, we will be back in just a minute. Enjoy the theme and the art. See you in a moment.
Okay, so last session we were attempting to navigate in relatively clear waters, and drifting on the current, we found a barrel with someone holding onto it for dear life. Now, the contents of the barrel are very important. They seem to be some sort of tropical citrus. We spent much time on this, so it must be important. Attached to the barrel, there was a very large orc with a very large axe who is currently unconscious in the infirmary. And we have drawn ever closer to our goal. Our goal, of course, being to find someone or some way to get to the Shadowfell so that we may save the comrade of this crew, Kalen, and also face down against the forces of literal darkness.
I mean, that's pretty close.
Yeah.
And this is why we love when Gamma does the recalls of our brains.
Well, the rest of you
I don't
should
believe
know
I
too.
missed anything, except we spent a while debating whether or not there were volcanic islands nearby.
Yeah, that's true. You did.
And
we leveled up.
We came to the consensus that it doesn't matter if there are volcanic islands nearby. We're just going to move on from that.
Yeah. One of our crew members told us that there were, in fact, volcanic islands north and slightly west of our current position, and we decided not to divert towards them because we figured our friend on the barrel, who was trying to get away from them, probably wouldn't want to go back. And also, we don't want to divert too much away from our course because the fate of the world hangs in the balance and all that.
Just a little bit.
Make it bigger. Make it bigger. There it is.
I would say a joke, but it's so not appropriate right now.
Listen, I updated the video card on this computer, and it's a little out of whack. But you know what? I think we're fine now.
Well, that's good.
I need to turn my noise suppression back on.
Okay.
So,
So
we
I
just got done with a long... Oh,
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yes, we did. We did just finish a long rest. And who would like to roll for weather?
Well, I rolled last time.
E100?
Yes.
80.
80.
You disappointed me by 21 points.
Yeah, I've disappointed myself by 21 points too.
11 points.
11? Yes, 11. Don't make me do math this early in the day for me.
Okay. And open.
Tiamat comes out from the sky. Everyone roll initiative.
Goodbye, world. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Nope.
The islands that we've been sailing past actually turn out to be a Jurassic.
Oh my god.
Oh god, no.
How do we turn this boat around?
By tacking or jiving. In a boat like this, you want to jive, though. You don't want to tack. Tacking, you'll snap your masts.
Every time I hear jive, I think of dancing.
Thank you, Trent, for the sub. Appreciate you. All right.
The difference.
ahead.
We have the weather.
The weather today, as you all rouse from your rest, winds are fairly high. The whole ship rocking up and down, back and forth with the waves upon the sea.
Ooh.
Just a few clouds in the sky, nothing that shows a storm, but the winds are definitely going to be a little bit of a issue today.
Well, that sounds like excellent conditions for making breakfast. Garganoth, would you care to join me in that endeavor?
Sure.
All right.
Make enough for second breakfast.
Probably gonna have to make enough for a third breakfast, considering the size of our unexpected guest.
It's settled. All-day breakfast.
Oh boy.
From my
Anyway.
extensive files on you, Creator Garganoth, you are likely to always have all-day breakfast.
Well, I can't argue with that, but, you know, today is a good day for, breakfast. Yes?
Every
Well-
day's a great day for breakfast.
What we
All
say?
day.
Full flapjacks, bacon, eggs, and hash browns.
Could you also mix up 2 cc's of crude oil?
Yeah, I'm sure we can get that somewhere.
Thank you.
Leans over to Garganoth. Do we have crude oil?
We have the oil we're going to be grilling things with. I think that'll have to be good enough.
Suppose so.
Generally, my men would just draw humorous genitalia on a bottle of olive oil.
Well, that would put the crude in crude oil, I suppose.
That does very much so sound like soldiers, no matter the time, place, or era. Anyway, would it be intelligence or wisdom for cooking?
Could also be dex, depending on what you're cooking.
Yeah, it really could. We'll go with intelligence. Why not?
Oh boy. And I've got Garganoth assisting me on this.
Yeah.
At this point, would that give expertise, considering Garganoth's extensive experience with breakfast?
I'd give it advantage.
I love how you always try to throw something like that in there, Gamma.
14.
Yeah. What are you trying to make?
Pancakes, bacon, eggs, and hash browns.
Oh, like you even had to roll for that. It's nothing difficult. Bacon, eggs, and pancakes.
Don't forget the hash browns. The hash browns are important.
Why don't you do something fancy and cook the bacon, like, with pancakes on it, like, together?
Oh my god, bacon
I used to
pancakes.
just take making
Too late.
pancakes.
Too late. we're getting something simple, so that way I know that everyone's gonna freaking like it.
Okay, but
Okay,
here's the
fine,
thing. You
but
said you're making
second
pancakes
breakfast.
and bacon. You just make them together. You just pour the pancake batter on the bacon.
Bacon
I remember to suggest that for second breakfast. How about that?
Yes.
pancakes.
All right,
Finger
that's settled then. All day it's going to be, as Garganoth says, an all-day breakfast buffet.
There is something I want to try making for next breakfast, too.
Fair enough.
Fish.
I want to try ale-battered something. Give it a little kick.
Can we catch some fish? Can we get some ale-battered fish?
That might be a good idea to make.
Sausage.
As long as it involves ale.
That might be a good idea. Garg, is that dwarven ale or something a little less potent?
No, never mind. That's stronger.
Anyway, breakfast to serve, y'all.
Yay!
Breakfast.
Do we get some temporary hit points for breakfast?
I don't know, but you can roll a perception check for me there, Travis.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy. Hey, 22 with a nat 20
Oh my god.
on both of them.
So yeah, as you're setting things up, you do notice that one entire stack of the pancakes that you've made has seemed to vanished from the table. And as you're looking around quickly, you do see the very end of a red tail leaving through the door to the kitchen.
I'm gonna take note of that for right now. I'm not going to immediately do anything because, one, I can't really speak to two. And second of all, probably best to just let someone who has a bit more authority than me at the moment handle that.
Don't we have 2 red dragons?
We have a... What are you, Malagos? A copper dragonborn?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
so... For right now, I'm just going to note that down and pass that along to Malagos or Amber later. Maybe pass it along to our dear captain. But for right now... But for right now, let's just replace what he has stolen and go from there.
For those of you gathered in the eating area, you do see the kobold kind of scamper out of the kitchen carrying a plate that has a soup pan turned upside down on top of it.
Who? Where'd he go? Is he at a range already?
No, he's running across the... Yeah. You know what I said.
Who?
What?
Stop right there.
Oh, hungry.
Now, what do you have under that pan?
Rat.
What?
Rat.
You know what? All right, fine. Take the rat. I don't want it. I don't want to. Just take the rat. Take it. Get it. He's like a built-in cat. He's like a cat.
Well,
He's cooking
Without-
his breakfast.
without anyone questioning the kobold, he scampers off and out of the galley.
He picked a perfect thing to say what's under there. It's a rat. Okay, bye.
Followed up immediately by Travis coming out and taking a quick look around and going, "Where did two go? I'm also missing a plate of pancakes."
Oh God! Damn it, 2! And now he's gonna go after wherever 2 went. You get back here.
Give me a dexterity check there.
No.
Malagos, as you go out the door that 2 had come through, you stick your foot inside of the saucepan fall where he had left it behind.
He's trying to catch a rat.
Son of a 2!
Well, that was something.
There was arms flailing and everything.
Also, is Mia down here?
I think Mia's been nursing a mug of coffee.
Well,
Look at Gremlin in the corner.
immediately brings over a plate and sets that up for her. There you go. Need to keep up your strength. Also, do we have any plans for our unexpected guest?
Well, the plan is to see if and when they wake up, what the nature of their travel was. If they are a threat to us, then we reevaluate. If they aren't, we would also have to pivot at that point. We can't really deviate from our current goal, you know, saving the world, etc., pretty important. Timelines and all of that fun stuff. So, I think the plan is currently just to hear what they have to say, if they have anything to say at all.
Alright. Also, I have the spell non-detection prepared for today, so if we can get everyone who we feel might be getting observed together, so that way I can get that cast.
Is it like one spell focuses on one person, or is it like a group thing?
It is one person per spell. I can cast
How many
it
times
about.
can you cast it per day?
I can cast it 3 times at level, and another 2 times at 4th level.
Okay. So thinking logistically, there are people that are more important to have protected, but if they can't scry on one of us, doesn't mean they're not going to try to scry on the others to see. So,
True.
if we're
Also,
hiding from
Go ahead.
Saren's baggage, then putting it on Saren is important, because hopefully some of the baggage that Saren has doesn't know who the rest of us are. If we're specifically trying to hide from Sharir, I think that's mainly a lost cause.
We also need to keep in mind that the spell only lasts 8 hours.
Yeah. Agree. I think let's hold off. Saren maybe is just probably always going to be someone good to throw that on. But I think in regards to, like, as a general rule, maybe we use it when we're working on something really important. Like if we're like, hey, we're gonna have a war room this afternoon, and then we do it. Or like, hey, we're gonna do this these shenanigans where we need to sneak off and do something, then we do it then. But I feel like if we're just hanging out on the boat in the middle of the ocean, we might be okay.
Alright.
Saren will appear from the shadows and say, we are getting somewhat close to an area where I may be noted.
You may be what?
Noted. Noticed. Sort. I'd prefer to steer clear as far as possible, but there's no reason they couldn't use our progress as a marker and try and intercept us for some reasons. Maybe a good idea to make it harder for them to see.
Oh, you finding yourself a magical object that really alleviates this burden on the rest of us. Because, one, I just think for your safety that's probably going to be helpful down the road. And two, if we're going into territory where you're going to be held up at any point because someone recognizes you, maybe we should be prepared and find a way to disguise you somehow.
Yes, I can take care of my clothing, but my face has been plastered across half the city before.
Well, I can help you out with a disguise.
Thank you.
In the meantime, I suppose the spell is going.
Yeah, I mean, it's your magical energy, so whatever you want to spend your resources on is your resource.
There's also the material cost of the spell we need to take into consideration. Diamond dust. It's not a lot, but 25 gold worth of diamond dust is still 25 gold worth of diamond dust.
Right, we have to think at that point we're spending 25 gold to block people from watching us swab a deck.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing to have in our pocket for times that are maybe just not seafaring times.
Fair enough. Also, can I refill your coffee while I'm here?
Absolutely.
Pours out a bit of coffee from the pot he's got in his other hand.
Has anyone else noticed that you put a sugar cube down waiting for your coffee and then you look away and then you look back and your sugar cube is gone?
I blame 2 on that. And we were gonna ask Malagos if she's been making sure that 2 gets fed.
Yes.
Have you really, or are you just saying yes now?
You need wet and dry kibble.
He doesn't eat kibble, he eats actual food. And yes, I make sure he eats. I've told him he needs to have 3 meals a day.
He made him a member of the crew, right? All he needs to do is come up and ask for a plate from me. Could you?
I wouldn't say that we've officially made him a member of the crew, or I do not take that into existence.
Well, we have him on board. We do have him work.
He's my little problem child.
He's Malagos's ward, and as her ward, she takes care of him and all that entails.
Fair enough.
Including his the one weird thing he has that has a spider in it. I don't know.
Still. Malagos, from now on, I'm going to make 2 plates for you. Can you just hand one off to him?
Absolutely. Out of character, actually, what did I miss when I went BRB? Because I knew Malagos was still in the doorway.
Frying, they went into sugar cubes.
What about sugar cubes?
Don't worry about the sugar cubes.
I'm gonna worry about the sugar cubes. That feels like something I need to worry about now. Were you trying to bribe him with them, or was he laying them out on the floor?
Who took my sugar cubes? I'm not accusing anyone. I'm just saying I had sugar cubes for my coffee, turned around to pick up my coffee, turned back for the sugar cubes, and cubes are gone. So that, maybe we have a haunted ship. Who the fuck knows?
So,
It's a mystery.
Seren's just walking out of the galley eating the sugar cubes.
That tracks.
Malagos is gonna get up off the floor out of the doorway and continue to go find 2. Taking the pot with her.
And where are you going to look for 2?
What direction did I see him running originally?
You didn't. You just saw him run out the door.
I'm gonna check his place first, his little room.
The door is shut as you approach it.
You would have stepped over Galloy on your way there.
Gally, what are you doing on the ground?
I am on guard duty.
Alrighty then. Continuing away, get to 2s, and just knock on the door. Two. It's Malagos.
Go away, eating.
2. Did you take all the sugar cubes?
What sugar cubes?
The little white squares that look like crystals.
You hear footsteps coming to the door, and the door opens just a little bit. And you see the face of a red kobold with bits of pancake around his maw.
Why are you eating in your room, too? Did you not want to eat with the rest of us?
When kobolds on ship have food, we eat separately, so others don't steal food.
None of this crew would steal your food.
Then why you stop too when he carry food back to room?
You said you were carrying a rat.
Did you chase too?
Because then someone came out and said you stole an entire plate of pancakes. We're supposed to share the pancakes, too.
Just kind of stares at you for a moment.
We all get equal amounts.
He
You're not going to
disappears.
starve.
He walks away from the door,
Oh.
and then you just see
I
the
like-
red clawed hand holding up the plate with the mangled pieces of pancake left on the plate.
Bring your stuff, too. Come on, let's go back and we'll go eat together. Come on. I'll make sure no one steals your food.
Fine. And he kind of disappears behind the door, and you hear a bunch of clicks and bangs and like a chain sliding, and then he carefully closes the door and follows you back to the mess.
Here, and I put the pot on top. You dropped this.
It was a diversion.
Yeah, I realized that because I tripped on it.
Haha, it worked.
Let's not do that again. People will get hurt.
Don't
Okay.
chase.
You don't need to run. You can just come eat with us. Trust me, Garganoth and Travis make enough food.
And the rest of you see the pair enter the mess hall with their little chat.
Has message been received for what's going on with food situation?
Well, Two's gonna start eating with us because he thought people were going to steal his food.
I guess that makes his behavior make a whole lot more sense.
Yep. I told him not to worry. There's more than enough food for us all to share.
Is there any pancakes salvageable left from...
No, it's all mangled. He tore into all of them.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I'm not gonna have any pancakes to go with my bacon.
We got another batch getting cooked up.
Joel.
Travis. Garganoth is tugging on his tunic. Now would be a pretty good
Yes,
time
sir?
to test out those ale-battered pancakes.
Ooh, yes, it would be. We're using human ale, not dwarven.
Yeah, sure, whatever. New batch of pancakes coming right up. Garganoth
Guard, I would like
disappears
to
back
still
in
be
the
able to
kitchen.
walk and think, thank you.
Just hear a bunch of pots and pans clattering and stuff on the floor.
Malaga's gonna go sit down at the table.
All right, Dumey, can we do a roll to see if Garganoth's hands slip when he's pouring the ale into the batter, or
I mean, sure.
what are we doing here?
It'd be probably a dexterity check with the waves.
Travis is probably going to be helping, so could we get an advantage with that?
You're holding his hand while he tries to pour the batter.
No, I think Garganoth. This is a solo project for Garganoth,
You think this is a solo project for Garg?
and this is a pretty big keg. Oh no.
God.
Well, bardic inspiration then.
Yeah, not everything can be a help. Yeah, Gar, you're kind of making a mess. Your sea legs are still a little wobbly, I suppose.
Okay, and then after that, I would also like to taste the batter so that the alcohol is masked, because I am a chef after all. Or chef at heart.
Okay. So, adding a few bits and bobs to the batter, and a few taste tests along the way, you eventually get to the point where you, as a dwarf, feel like that... Well, actually, give me a perception check. And... a 15. Yeah, you get to the point where you believe that you cannot taste the booze anymore.
Okay.
Now, what would you like to do with it?
I would like to serve the table for whoever would like a second round or their first round of pancakes.
And to our table?
Pancakes.
Here,
Malaga's
we'll take one.
absolutely get some.
Just one.
2 for the dragon.
This is the second batch of perfectly normal pancakes. Nothing obscure or weird about them. Garganoth winks at Travis.
That response. But I know you're not going to try to kill it, so I'm going to eat it anyway.
Malaga's is absolutely like taking the pancake. What else did you guys make with the pancakes? Like eggs and bacon and all that?
Yep, eggs,
Hash
bacon,
browns.
hash browns.
She's literally taking the pancake, putting a little bit of everything on the pancake and rolling it up.
Breakfast burrito.
Yes. Scooping it in syrup and then munching on it. And she's making 2 of those.
Garganoth made enough to where he's putting a stack of 6 on his plate, and he's just going to town.
And how much alcohol would you
probably.
say you put into these?
Yes.
Yes.
Is that a third of the barrel or half?
Galloy would call up from upstairs. Do I smell ale pancakes?
Ale cakes.
Can Galloy smell?
I doubt it.
Since his update, yes. We made a joke before that he turned off his olfactory processes. So yes, he does have olfactory processes.
Gotcha. By the way, the ship right now is about here?
Are we where the red X is? Because that is not far from Valley Rest, and I feel like we've gotten so much further.
What do you mean not far from Valley Rest?
We've only been going for like 3 days.
Has it really only been 3 days?
Yes, it
Yeah.
has only been 3 days.
The first day we hit a reef and had to spend a day in Nihoth, well, a night in Nihoth to repair our ship. And then we've had one more night.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Feels like ages ago since we did like the middle finger to the bad guys while leaving.
Oh, why is that so big?
Well, that's because, you know, in the real world it has been ages, like, what, couple months?
I mean, in this campaign we've played like maybe a month worth of in-game time, but it's been what, like a year and a half, 2 years now?
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
All right. So, anything else that needs to happen during breakfast?
Malagos is going to attempt to teach two how to use forks and knives to eat.
Galloway would have come upstairs, grabbed a pancake, opened his chest, put the pancake in, closed his chest, and then made mechanical whirring sounds.
Is that how you eat?
Just asking, do any of us start to feel a little drunk after eating the second round of pancakes?
Oh, yeah.
Nope, I'm still good. Garganoth goes for seconds.
Malagos might be making a third breakfast burrito.
Harry only ate like half when she realized, oh, this may not be the greatest thing to eat right now.
It has been a very long time since I've had dwarven cuisine.
Well, if nothing else, the crew is going to be very jolly this morning.
Yeah, it's probably about the equivalent of 2.5 drinks.
Oh my god.
According to official guidelines, one more standard drink is required for prerequisite for working.
I just want to like swallow the mouthful she time goes, there's dwarven ale in this?
No, I said no such thing. How do they taste, though?
They taste fantastic.
A little tinny.
I'm on my third. Garg, you gotta make a burrito with the pancake. It's delicious.
Guard,
Garganoth's
please tell
eyes
me you
go
did not
wide.
put the dwarven ale in these.
I did not put the dwarven ale in these.
Are you just telling me that because that's what I asked you to tell me?
I'm following your instructions. You're being a little too... Garganoth hiccups. So what are we talking about?
So, there is dwarven ale in these pancakes.
Ale pancakes available.
That's what I asked earlier.
Oh boy. I knew I shouldn't have taken my eyes off of you, but oh well. I guess that's what I get for not paying attention.
I mean, if any of you guys get too drunk, I can just use, what was it, Lesser Restoration on you guys?
I think that's what we did the last time we all got drunk.
Say this more.
Galloway would take 4 more pancakes, put them in his chest, close it. I will return to guard duty.
Why is this the first time I'm realizing you eat with your chest?
I do not eat.
Oh,
Why are you...
Galloway, before you head off back to guard duty, here. And Travis just hands him a flagon of oil.
Does it have any pictograms on it?
Yes, of a rather curvy woman.
Perfect. Galloway takes the oil and tips it over his head.
Do I even want to know? You know what? No, I'm not going to ask.
She asked for crude oil.
It's important to have lubrication.
I'm going back to my pancakes. This is a
God, if that isn't a soldier's joke, I don't know what is.
Galloway would give a very smart salute and then, without squeaking, go downstairs.
Oh, I guess that works. Anyway, time for the chef to partake of his creation, I guess.
Doomer,
And
do you want me to roll anything in trying to teach to how to use silverware?
Animal handling.
Patience, I suppose.
Like, I'm showing him by using my own and being like, you do it like this.
I think it's going to be more of a persuasion check.
Perfect. Persuade.
Persuade versus...
Stubbornness.
He's really not interested. And by the time you really start even the first lesson, he's pretty much scarfed everything that was left on that plate that he brought in as well. So there's really no reason.
We'll try again at lunch.
I wish you all the best of luck in that.
Look, he won't get food everywhere. He'll get more in his stomach.
This is true.
Kind of sprays it everywhere.
I still wish you all the best of luck with that.
He's smart.
Hey, dude,
He's smart, yes. Is he wise?
how far is the Q store away from the infirmary?
The what?
The Q store.
The Q store.
The quartermaster's store.
Oh. I mean, it's not a huge ship. It's not that far.
Galloy would go to the closest person who would know if the orc woke up, which would in fact be the orc, and say, "If you wake up, you shall notify me immediately. I need to take stock of the amount of supplies that we currently have."
He doesn't stir.
With him not stirring, Galloy would write a note and hit. Is he wearing like a bandolier or something?
Hold on. He's got kind of like, well, I mean, he's basically got everything that's in the picture, so I'll just show the picture again.
Yeah, I would pin it to his bandolier and say, the note would say, "Hello, you have woken up aboard a strange ship. Do not fear. Please call out for Galloy Steelheart."
Okay.
What language is this note written in?
I was about to ask.
My common language would be Dwarvish, but I would probably be smart enough to use Common. I'm going to make an intelligence check to see if I would be smart enough to use Common. I am not smart enough to use Common.
Okay.
Dwarvish.
Gotcha. Roger, roger.
The way it was worded in the order that it was.
I think that during all of this cacophony of sound, Mia, in the breaks that she gets over the day waiting for the person to wake up, she's going to spend it in the sick bay with Kyrie, just watching over, taking stock of what's happening, observing, seeing who's coming and going, etc., etc. Because if they wake up and they're like disoriented, I don't want things to be dangerous for Kyrie. I probably also brought Kyrie a bunch of like snacks and fruit, cheese. And
Aw, Mia, you're the best.
Travis is probably
you, like,
also going to be
rarely
checking
ever
up.
leave.
Travis is also probably going to be checking up regularly.
Yourself. So let me help do that.
Okay.
I know. There's a lot of people to keep safe, though.
Yeah, but if you're not at your peak, we can't be at ours.
That's true.
Hey,
Also,
Dumey,
did you
real
see
quick.
that apple? I carved it
Let him
into the
finish.
shape of the bunny.
Okay.
Into the shape of a what?
Little bunny.
I didn't, but I see it now. It's so cute. How did you learn to do that?
I don't remember.
That's
I-
fair.
I think maybe my mom used to do that.
Oh, it's special. I will save it for a little while, but I won't let it go to waste.
Yeah, don't let it rot like the food in Galloway's stomach. It's very unsettling.
Is that what? Oh, that's what that smell is.
Yeah, probably.
We have to figure out a way to give him a bath.
Well, I mean, a lot of people on the ship, to be fair, probably really need a bath.
Yeah. But I think the rotten food's a little more pressing than BO.
Ooh. I mean, that's true. What if he's making, like, bootleg wine? It just rots so far, it ferments.
I mean, we'd have a few happy folk around if that was the case.
But we have access to real, actually well-made alcohol. I don't think we need prison wine.
No, we don't. But that won't stop them. You should know this.
Oh, that's absolutely fair. All right. Well, I think I need to get back to the wheel for maybe the next hour or two, but I'll be back down to check.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, never mind.
There's a bit of a stirring from the table. The rather large green figure starts to sit up and rubs his bald head. He looks around for a moment and then notices you two and quickly reaches to his back for his weapon but doesn't find it there.
Well
I
met,
will be
friend.
smiling.
Do you speak common?
Yes.
Before you strain yourself looking around, we did part you and your weapon just for everyone's safety, but we found you floating on the wreckage of some raft in the middle of the ocean.
Good, then it was successful.
What was successful?
Getting away from the island.
What island?
The island where I grew up.
Mia puts her palm to her forehead. Okay. Well, I would say that since you're on a ship in the ocean and not on this island where you grew up, you are indeed correct and successful. However, you were almost dead.
Well, as much as I appreciate being fished out of the water, I must ask you something else. Are there many of you?
A fair bit.
Are you a benevolent lot?
Depends on who's asking.
Well, I am asking. Bugrash.
Hugrash. Well, Hugrash? I don't know you, so I can't tell you if we'd be benevolent or not. It's not the answer you want, but it's frank.
My people are under some sort of witchery. And I and 3 others left the island trying to find someone to help us.
So you're on a pilgrimage.
I am not seeking resettlement. I am seeking warriors in order to help find out what is wrong.
Ooh, okay. Well, it looks like we have a lot to unpack between us. So, with your permission, this is our healer.
Hello.
Kyrie. I would like for Kyrie to look over you now that you are conscious enough to say what and what doesn't hurt.
There is no time.
There is nothing but time, because we're far from shore. So.
Well, then if you will not help me, give me a boat.
Well, we don't have extras, so you're going to have to stay here and talk with me, or take your chances and swim back, guide.
Then give me my weapon and I will challenge your captain to a duel for control of the ship.
That's cute. Kyrie, if he doesn't want looked over, you don't have to.
All right.
Sir, I humbly implore you to come to the galley and have a conversation with me over some lunch. We don't take kindly to threats here on this ship. I'm offering you a hand of good faith, and if you're not going to take it, that's your own problem.
It was not a threat, it was an offer of honorable combat.
You don't jump from waking up in someone's boat to honorable combat.
What is
I've given you my
lunch?
offer. What is what?
What is lunch?
Oh, shit. I don't know. Kyrie, what were they making?
I think we were planning on having breakfast all day, but I'm not sure.
All day breakfast. Well, I don't know if breakfast where we're from is the same as breakfast where you're from. They had pancakes, bacon, coffee, probably fruit and cheese.
He slowly
like
slides.
An apple slice in the shape of a rabbit.
I would not.
Okay, you're lost. It's a good apple.
He slowly slides off the table, the boards creaking under his weight. He stumbles a little bit, catching himself with a hand. Perhaps food would be a good first step.
Yes,
Yeah,
first impressions are important, and carbs are helpful for energy. So if you would please follow Kyrie, I will follow you, and we will make our way to the galley.
He looks at Kyrie, almost like sizing her up.
If you keep staring at her like that, her wife will probably find some way to come kill you. Don't
He
recommend it.
Would like to have my weapon returned.
I will agree to return your weapon after food and conversation. I will not keep you separated from what is yours, but I would like to have a conversation between the two of us, at least without weapons at the ready. Again, in good faith.
It's acceptable.
And then if you want to fight for fun, we can fight for fun, but let's go eat first.
Very well.
With that, Kyrie will get up and start leading the way.
And he follows, slow steps, a bit unsteady at first. He has been out at sea for a while now.
Harry will make sure to keep pace with him so that he's not too far behind.
So we go to the galley.
Yes. Go to the galley. He follows. He's a bit big for some of the doorways, so he's got to kind of squeeze through. But he does take a seat at the table. Decides that the chair's a little bit small. Pushes the chair or bench out of the way and kind of sits cross-legged on the floor.
Anything strike your fancy in particular?
Meat.
Okay. Cooked or uncooked?
Cooked, preferably. I am no savage.
I'm just asking your preferences, sorry. I'll make up a plate. What do we have? Well, we have bacon. I'll throw in some, like, probably go over and grab a couple of, like, dried meat, like, jerky things. Do you like coffee?
What is this coffee?
Just wait. It's delicious. I'll make up a coffee.
Watch, he's gonna be the one guy on the crew that doesn't like coffee.
Don't even speak that into existence. That would be the saddest day ever. We would have to fight that. For coffee's honor. I grab a couple sugars. I look around for Saren. And then I put them in the coffee.
Come here.
For the fun of it, I'm just gonna have Sarah do a
Hit.
You drop the sugar cubes and don't hear them plop.
What?
Sugar cubes getting dropped into the coffee. The sugar cubes get stolen before they make it to the coffee.
Got you. Okay.
Saren, you're fired. I put sugar in the coffee and I return to the table. The mug is coffee. It is a hot beverage.
You have my appreciation.
Oh, don't appreciate me until you've eaten it.
He
Because if you
begins-
don't like it, then you can take it up with the chef. If you do like it, you're welcome.
He begins to eat, rather fervishly. Again, he's not had anything in his stomach for a while. And he chokes a little bit after a second before slowing down. This is good food.
Good. I would hate for you to spend your time with us on an empty stomach. Food is hospitality where most people are from. Well, where I'm from.
We share food to show our trust between one another, to prove that we would not poison those of our clan.
That is honorable. So, your name again?
Bugrash.
Ugrash. My name is Mia. I am the captain of this vessel.
Then I know now who I must duel.
We're probably not going to do that. I can't actually guarantee, but we probably won't have to come to that. You're not getting this ship.
Then you have agreed to help me and my people.
This is, there's a lot of, like, either you do this or you do that. We haven't even had a conversation, so I don't know what we're going to do. I would need some more details, because currently the ship is bound for an important destination. So I don't know if I can dedicate time to backtrack. It's also not a decision I can make alone. I do have crew members that are very important.
I see. Then I will ask again for a smaller vessel.
I mean, the answer really hasn't changed from the last time. I haven't grown any extra wood. So
You do not have lifeboats on this boat.
I don't know a lot about this boat, to be frank. I mean, we might. It's new. We just acquired it. Anyway. First, I need more details. Like, where you're actually from, how far that is away from our current location, and what your hurry is.
I
I can't help you if I don't know anything.
I am from the Isle of Zook. My tribe has been the only inhabitants for more than the generations that I have counted. It was only a few years ago when things began to grow strange. The normal hustle and work of our people, training as protectors and followers of our gods, suddenly ceased for a small handful. The elders first thought this was some small sect trying to branch out from normal traditions. Young pups seeking their own way. But this movement grew as slowly the desire to fight and to train and to work grew dim. And now they mostly celebrate and drink and feast and do little else. There are but a handful of us still following the old traditions. And it seems every night someone changes their mind and joins the others. We are dwindling. And we do not know why.
You're killing. People are dying, leaving, disappearing.
No. They just do not follow the traditions. They are not the people that I grew up with. They are not themselves.
So what's different about them? Are you saying they're possessed, or they just decided they wanted to have a different way of life?
Does not seem natural, if that is what you're trying to imply.
I was implying that. Are we talking other planar influence, godly influence, trickster influence?
If these were questions I knew the answer to, I would not be seeking help from outsiders.
I mean, you could know that and still need help.
Well, I do not.
Are there any other details you can think of? I have a lot of learned people on this crew. Maybe they would know. Hold on. Before we go into any more details, Kyrie, if you would be so kind as to gather the main crew.
I can definitely do that.
Minus
And
2. Leave 2 at the workshop.
Well, yeah, I wasn't planning on grabbing him. I'll go grab everybody, and I'll scurry
Around-
to do that.
Around this time, Galloy would come in looking as panicked as he can and say, Captain, the orc is missing.
Are you blind?
Oh. You were
Yes.
supposed to tell me when you were awake. I left a note.
The note is still attached to where you left it.
Is there anyone other than Garganoth who understands Dwarvish?
Who understands which
I don't
language?
believe so.
Dwarvish?
It's a good question.
Negative.
I do not. I know like 4 languages, but that is not one.
Same.
Same.
My brain is not my main muscle. I do not know that many languages.
I like to think that the only reason Travis knows that many languages is because he was bored a lot as a soldier.
Valid.
Yeah, valid. So, having gathered everybody, are there reactions?
Saren's showing him a sugar cube.
Oh, hey, he's awake.
Alright, Lights Gambit. This is Boogrash. Boogrash, Lights Gambit.
He raises a hand in a waving motion that he saw some of the other people use.
Boogrash
Garganoth.
needs help or a way back to land. So we are here to listen to what Boogrash needs, and then as a group make a decision on what happens from this point on with our affiliation with Boogrash. I will lay this down right now. Boogrash, no harm will come to you if you wish no harm to us, and that I will honor with a handshake.
You may trust her. You may trust her word. She is a general of the Iron Legion.
I am a captain of this vessel.
That is lower in your designations.
I am a captain of this vessel.
And I am Garganoth. Pleased to meet you, Boogrash.
Hail, friend.
So Mia will quickly, with Boogrash's affirmative or negative, summarize what he's already said, and then,
Yeah.
Um,
And he'll
I will
retell
ju-
anything
Does
he has to.
anyone know where that is? Like, do
I
we have a
believe-
map where we could have him point out, like, where he's from?
I believe from our conversation yesterday, it is volcanic islands to the north.
Maybe Travis has a map? Does Travis help with that, or was it Saren?
Saren typically would
Does
help.
Saren have a map?
Saren would produce one and say, I didn't steal it.
We know he gave it to you. It's a weird thing for you to point out.
He reaches for the buckle of his loincloth, and
I divert my eyes out of respect.
as he pulls on it, it opens to a compartment, and inside is a small compass-like device. This talisman is attuned to my village. It always points in that direction.
Mm-hmm. So on the map.
He lays the talisman down, and it points in a northwestern direction.
So if somebody in roll 20 happened to ping on the Lands of Djruthourhi map where this would be, whereabouts would that be? Off the map. Okay.
Yep, about here.
Oh.
And we're going where?
So technically we're not that far. If that little X is where we are currently.
Yes, that is where you are currently.
God.
It could be dangerous, but we could recruit new muscle for our conquest, I suppose.
Hey, Dumey, I just took a stock of our supplies. I know that water was going to be the biggest obstacle in terms of the amount that we could store versus the amount we needed daily.
Are we running low? How poorly did we plan our initial supplies? Because we literally just left.
Well, planning for a 3-month voyage, can't carry that much water.
I'm talking about, like, in general.
You know you'd have to resupply at some point, and you had planned to resupply at, Foppen, which was here.
Okay.
Kelly would say, do you have fresh water on your island?
Of course, there is no life otherwise.
I beg to differ.
How would you beg to differ?
Galloway is giving you an impassive stare. I have no need of water.
Fair, but you are kind of devoid of a lot of the needs that us more biologically inclined sapiens require.
I'm aware of your weaknesses.
And last I checked, orcs fall into the category of biological sentience.
Officially, in my files, they are designated as fungus.
For our personally important group goals, where's our timeline at? Like, we need to get to where we're going.
Saren would speak up. 2 months, I believe, or 6 weeks. We would be diverting maybe 2 days. We could make that up.
Okay. So if we get here and we top up on supplies, can we skip the next stop and move on, or do we still have to make that stop?
Most of our food and rations are fine to go for another week or so. Water is what we need.
Okay,
If it is any help in your decision, if you're able to help my people, we will give you the supplies that you need, and then some.
I will not speak for everyone here. We will vote on it, I guess, but I think we can try, but we don't have an infinite amount of time. Okay. I vote that we go with Bugarash to Bugarash's island and take a look. Maybe what's happening there ties into what's happening in the mainlands. All those in favor? Aye.
I
Oculus.
God.
I just don't even have it in me to laugh anymore. Okay, we have 2 ayes, so anyone else? Nay.
Sarah would say
Then
that.
why didn't you say aye? That was the whole point of voting. Alright,
My mic was accidentally muted.
Let's Gambit. Good God, listen to directions. If you are okay with helping Bugarash and going to his island now, in which we will turn around and drive our ship there, say aye.
My mic's not muted this time.
Aye.
Does Travis get a vote?
I mean, you're here, so I guess.
I've got no issues with going to go help people.
It's so simple.
Just say aye.
Just say aye. Thank you.
I
All
still
right.
say aye.
Very good. All opposed say nay. Saren, are you abstaining?
I think Saren would say aye at that point.
All right, sir. Looks like you have unofficially hired Lights Gambit. Saren, let's chart a course.
You will not regret this.
Oh boy, do I hope you are right.
And you will not regret this! Garganoth comes out with a plate of pancakes.
It's not meat, but it's good.
Please tell me those are not the...
Let our friend enjoy breakfast.
I suppose I shall.
And as he eats, he does look across the table at Mia. You promised the return of my weapon.
Yep. I will be above deck with your weapon. Find me when you're done eating. I'll be at the wheel.
Very well.
Mia saunters out of the room and up back to the deck.
Well, he does eat, and he's able to talk if anyone has questions for him, and if not, we'll move forward a little bit.
Galloway would sit across from him, staring with his purple eyes. Greetings. I did not get a chance to introduce myself. I am Grand Marshal Sir Galloway Steelheart of the Iron Legion.
That is a long name.
Most people call me Galloway, or Tin Man, or Hey You.
And I will call you Tin Man, for that is what you appear to be.
In fact, I am a carbon steel composite. Except my hand, it is wood. Your people, they are fighters, yes.
We were, before this strangeness took over.
The General neglected to mention to you that we are currently in a state of active war. Would you be interested in joining this conflict?
I must first help my people before taking on any other such missions.
Yes, helping one's people should come above any conflict that is currently happening. This is wise.
And what is this war that you all fight?
The foe is eradication. There is a beast. A friend of this crew has been taken.
Then I wish you all luck in retrieving them.
It is my understanding that if we fail in our goal, there may not be a world to return to.
He doesn't seem to know what to say to that. And just kind of takes another bite of his food.
I recommend those with lemon.
I see. And he kind of looks around to the rest of you. This magical device of yours is a strange one.
Considering I've only been around him for about 3-4 days. Yeah, he is. Or I suppose it is.
My personality program is male.
Heathen.
I am going to go and retrieve my weapon from your captain.
Allow me to accompany you. I'll show you where she is.
That would be helpful. And he places a large hand on the table and pushes himself up, looking down at Garganoth.
This way, if you please. Shoo bap ba da bap bap. Garganoth is like lightly stumbling around.
He follows and kind of glances back at the others for a moment, suddenly thinking this is a very strange crew and he's not sure if he should have asked them for help.
We get that a lot.
If nothing else, we are an entertaining lot to be around.
As he walks behind Garganoth, your captain is rather small compared to some of your members.
Well, that she might be small, but she is just as fierce as she is small, believe me. Oh, wait! And Garganoth will stop him real quick before they get to the stairs. Then he's gonna look left. And he's gonna look right.
No.
Then he's gonna say, Bugrash, be careful. Do you see that in front of us on the floor? The floor is lava. And he jumps onto the stairs and saunters up. Bap, ba, da, bap, ba, da, bap. Keep up, Bugrash. We got places to be, things to see.
To his credit, he does step over the section that Garganoth had pointed out. Not really sure why. He follows Garg up the steps, seriously rethinking his choices.
And I'll just lead Bugrash to Mia, introducing him to the crew members along the way. Whoever's in our path.
How drunk is the crew at this point?
I mean, not everybody had the pancakes. You didn't make enough for everybody to have one, but yeah, there's a few of them.
Old Garganoth. We're going to use the human ale, not the dwarven ale. Dwarven ale is to save for when we have time for short leave.
After about 5 minutes, Garganoth is going to realize he's been just walking around the ship.
This ship is not so big. You are delaying me in finding my weapon.
Delaying you and find your weapon? Well, Garganoth is going to fish in his backpack. Here we go. In the meantime, this should tide you over, and he's going to hand him a little hand axe. Now where is... Oh, right, it's this way. And he's going to turn around 180 degrees and walk the opposite direction.
You took him to the front of the ship?
He is slowly gaining annoyance as you lead him places.
And eventually we get to Mia, I suppose.
I did just walk in circles for the last 5 minutes. It was quite entertaining. Did you have the good scenic route? Meet everyone, see all the notches and boat holes?
I suppose that is what it could be called.
Bugresh is a good sport. He enjoyed the tour, I'm sure.
Go easy on the new one. Garth, not everyone knows your antics.
Garganoth is going to giggle at himself when Mia thinks that Garganoth totally did that on purpose and not just because he was stumbling around. Yes, you're right. My apologies.
As promised.
He reaches out to take his weapon.
Mia returns it. Such wood.
As he picks up the weapon, he draws his finger along the blade of the axe. And as he does so, there's a bit of sparks and small section of flame along the axe. And as the flame materializes, it takes the form of a fiery snake elemental that drapes over his shoulders.
Have I seen this kind of magic before?
You may not have seen it before, but you probably have heard of it before. There are certain brands of druids that call spirits of flame to serve at their side.
So nature is your guide, yes?
The flame of the island provides much to my people.
We will have some time before we reach your shore. I would like to talk and learn a little bit about that with you, if you're comfortable.
Since you have agreed to help me and my people, it would be dishonorable to turn down such a request.
We have quite a few magic users on board, not so in tune to nature. You must forgive them for that. I have little of it myself, but it does intrigue me.
The island gives us each a piece of the flame when we go through our rites of passage. It takes on a different form or spirit for each one. It is our job to tend that flame, lest we lose the blessing of our island.
So, your flame wasn't lost, and you dismiss it?
I can, but we each give our flame a home, a place where it can rest and replenish itself. And he turns the axe upside down to show the ruby gem at the hilt and pommel. This is the source of my spirit, made with my own hands from stones I found within the island.
So that's how you channel your magic, through the stone?
I suppose you could call it that. It is basically like a home for the spirit to live when it would be inconvenient to be out and about, such as swimming among the ocean.
Do you only have fire magic, or have you been gifted other abilities?
My own magic is small. I am not inclined to learn much. But there are times in battle when I may take on the form of powerful beasts of nature.
I'm familiar. I've known a druid or two in my time. None from the same circle, though.
Then these druids must not follow our ways.
Likely not. I've never met anyone from Zook. So,
There
are there
not
followers beyond your island?
As far as we know, our clan is the only who have inhabited the island, and none within my life have left it, except for me and the others, as we sought out help from the outside.
About that. So, did you go in different directions? Did you get swept up by a storm? How did you end up mostly dead, floating on a barrel?
We were each on the same ship. Something we hastily fastened together from scraps that had washed up on the shore through the years. Many of which are used to build houses and other structures among the village. Our construction was not as great as we thought, and when the storm hit, our ship fell to pieces. I assume you did not find others among the wreckage.
There was very little wreckage, but we didn't see any other humanoids.
Then they are probably lost.
We can hope they floated somewhere to a shore line, or maybe we'll pick them up along the way. Maybe they're a little bit more hardy.
We can only hope. But if not, they will have returned to the island by body or by flame.
So, like, if I'm here on the ship at night and I see a little pew across the sky, so that's someone returning to your island by flame.
No. That would be a shooting star.
Just try to romanticize things, I guess.
For our people, our spirit burns like the fire, and so we call it our flame. Our flames will return to that which birthed us, being the mountain on the island. So either we return in body or by flame.
Is there any... I know you said if you knew more you would tell us, but can you give me just a bit more detailed example of a person you know that's changed? Like, your friends, they were hospitable and pious, and now what? What's... They have black eyes, and they speak in tongues. What are we looking at?
My sister is one such case. She is a blacksmith, good with the hammer, works well with metal and wood, just the same. Each day she would hone her craft, rising in the morning, stopping only to eat. And in the evening, she would spend with her families. One such night, after speaking with her myself of the troubles that plagued our clan, she ventured out into the forests to investigate something. She would not tell me what. The next morning, there was no ringing of the anvils, no smoke coming from her shed. I found her on the beach with the others.
They were just on the beach.
They have made some sort of camp upon the beach, and they sing and dance and feast upon the fish. There is no work, no labor, no training. They stare out over the water as if mesmerized by it.
They've opted for a different way of life.
I can see how one might think so, but this is not natural. My sister would not simply take a different path. Knowing her as I did, the forge gave her such joy.
Have you seen any of their flames?
No, I have not.
Do they all have objects in which they hold their flames in as well?
Yes, it is something we all do once we receive our blessings. Something we
Have
make
they
ourselves.
abandoned them? Maybe someone took them?
From what I have seen, they still carry them with them. But these flames do not dance like mine. And he reaches out and kind of strokes the head of the snake.
Do your flames speak to each other?
They speak through us. They are their own spirit, just bound to us.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll see more of what you're talking about when we arrive. Is there anything else we should know before we step foot on your island?
The forests are not safe after nightfall. It is best to stay within the village, near the flames.
Common threats, is it? You said you're the only people there, so is it beasts? Spirits?
There are creatures that habit the woods. Some docile, which roam in the day for hunting. But at night, it is a different story. Strange aberrations wander the trees, afraid of the fire.
Well, I appreciate your candidness. Is there anything I can tell you in return?
Yes. What is this war you fight against? Your people do not seem agitated or somber for its existence.
I wouldn't call it a war. That must have come from Galloy.
The Tin Man.
The Tin Man. Yes. Yeah. Not a war. No. Just, the impending takeover of Djruthourhi from a maniacal and egotistical, probably narcissistic dragon.
A dragon.
Yeah, not a good one.
My people tell of dragons long ago. It was on the back of a dragon that the first of our clan came to the island of Zook.
Did you have dragons long after?
The stories tell tale of the dragon bringing us to the isle and setting the mountain aflame. It was the source of our spirits. It is said in our stories that the dragon sleeps among the fires of the mountain. It is a holy place, one only our elders travel to for communion.
Do you know the name of that dragon?
I apologize, but I do not. I am now well versed in our legends and stories.
Understood. Yeah. No war. No war. Just, a bad person, bad dragon, hell-bent on taking over, doing bad things. There's also, I asked a lot about the possession and stuff, is we've seen creatures from another plane have been invading and doing harmful things, killing people, taking children. Bad stuff, really bad stuff, and we're on our way to, for whatever reason, it's fallen to this group of people here to stop it. I may not be the nicest or most caring individual, but I don't think people should be harmed who are innocent. Trying to stop that from happening.
That is a worthy cause, then. If you help my people, I will see that my people reward you.
Well, supplies are good. Help is always needed, and if anybody wants to go on an adventure, I'm sure we can find room for a warrior or two.
That is possible, but my people do not leave the island.
Just a thought. A lot could happen between now and that island.
We shall see.
Garganoth clears his throat. How do we know that we can resist the charms of this dark magic once we get there?
It's a good question.
If it is such dark magic, I would hope that those among your group could conjure some protection from it. But it does not seem to affect everyone at once. As I said, it was a slow gathering.
Does it ever cause anybody to become violent, or just the happy-go-lucky kind?
They have become very docile and exuberant. There is no violence that I can see.
Okay, so at least at that point we know that we won't be met with hostilities, at least not at first.
I only hope that there are more of us left. I have lost count of how many days I had been away. If I am unlucky, I may be the last.
Well, don't lose hope. There's a lot we can do.
That is what I am hoping for.
If there's anything else you want to know, any mainland knowledge, anything like that, Garth right here, that dwarf can tell a story.
Well, it's funny you bring that up, actually, because there was this one time, and Garganoth just goes on.
And I think since it's almost 1 o'clock, that's probably a good place to cut us off for tonight. I'd like to thank our new followers and our new watchers. We do this every Saturday at 10:30 Eastern, except for the first Saturdays of the month. And we do some other streaming, video games and such. So hopefully you'll get our notifications and stop by and see us here and there. I'm sure all of my players along the bottom here have feel the same way and appreciate your time with us. And that is going to be all for the night. So thank you again for the time spent and for the subscriptions and follows. And we hope you catch us next time. And remember that there are 20 sides to every story. Roll for yours. Have a good night, guys.